They said the statue in the center of the village once had a heartbeat. Children were warned never to touch it. Lovers whispered that it was cursed. A prince turned to stone for betraying love. But Amara never believed in curses. She believed in loneliness, because that's what she felt every single day. Her parents had died when she was barely old enough to remember their faces. She grew up serving others, carrying baskets in the market, cleaning courtyards for people who never remembered her name. And every evening, when the sun bled red over the hills, Amara walked to the old statue by the well. He was tall, proud, with eyes carved like they once held a secret. She would sit beside him, talk about her day, and sometimes bring him wildflowers. The villagers called her the girl who talks to stones, but Amara didn't mind. The statue never mocked her. It never lied, never walked away. In its silence, she found comfort. One night, as she watched the sunset reflect off its cold cheek, she whispered, "If you could feel, even for a moment, you'd know how much it hurts to be unseen." The day the storm came, the sky roared like a wounded beast. The villagers ran into their homes, but Amara didn't. She ran toward the statue. The wind tore at her shawl. The rain stung her face, but she didn't care. "You'll break," she whispered, throwing her arms around the stone figure as if protecting it from the fury of heaven itself. Lightning split the sky, and for a heartbeat, the statue's eyes flickered, faintly blue, like trapped lightning. Amara gasped. "No, that can't be." She stepped back, trembling. The rain fell harder, and a strange warmth spread through her palms where she had touched the statue. "Who are you?" she whispered, her voice drowned by thunder. "Why do I feel like you can hear me?" For reasons she couldn't explain, she leaned closer and pressed her lips gently against its cold cheek. At that moment, the wind stopped. The trees froze mid-sway. Even the rain seemed to hang in the air. A deep hum echoed through the ground, like a heart beginning to beat after 100 years of silence. The sound came again, louder this time. A crack formed across the statue's chest, then another, and another. Amara stumbled backward as chunks of stone began to fall away. Beneath the grey surface, skin appeared, warm, alive, human. He gasped for air as if drowning, then fell to his knees, his voice shaking. "Where am I?" Amara's heart thudded violently. "You're alive," she whispered. "You were a statue, and now..." The man looked at his hands, flexing them in disbelief. "A curse," he murmured. "I was cursed to wait until someone loved me enough to see beyond the stone." He looked up at her then, eyes deep as twilight. "You broke it. You freed me." Amara's lips trembled. "Who are you?" He smiled weakly. "Prince Iran, once the heir to this land, but I betrayed love, and love turned me to stone. You..." He paused, staring at her as if seeing a soul. "You loved without being loved back. That's why I could hear your heart all these years." Amara's tears mixed with the rain. She didn't understand how or why, only that she had saved someone she never thought could feel again. Days turned into weeks. The village buzzed with wonder. The stone prince was real, alive again, walking among them. Aaron rebuilt what was broken. He helped farmers fix their fields, healed the sick with gentle words, and spoke of forgiveness more than power. And beside him always was Amara, the girl who had believed in him when no one else did. People began to bow to her, calling her the chosen one. But Amara only smiled shyly. She didn't crave titles. All she wanted was the peace that came from kindness. One evening, as they stood watching the sunset, the same sunset she had once watched alone, Aaron turned to her. "You gave me more than life," he said softly. "You gave me purpose. You saw a heart in stone, and because of that, I found my own again." He took her hands in his. If you let me, I want to spend this life proving that love is stronger than curses. Amara's heart fluttered. Tears welled in her eyes, not of sorrow this time, but gratitude. Years later, the story of Amara and Aaron became legend. They ruled not with swords, but with mercy. And in the middle of the village square, where the old statue once stood, they placed a new one. Two hearts joined as one. Children would come and ask, "Mama, is it true that love can wake the dead?" And the mothers would smile and say, "Love wakes more than the dead. We wakes the forgotten." As for Amara, she never forgot the night the storm fell silent, or the warmth of that first heartbeat beneath her palm. She would whisper to Aaron every night before sleep, "You were stone, and yet you heard me." He would smile and reply, "Because love speaks louder than silence."
If this story touched your heart, please like, share and subscribe to Jomi's Stories so we can keep bringing you more emotional, educative, and inspiring stories.